Hello guys, this is Sammy. We're on Nakuru Highway heading to this side of Kijabe Mission Hospital. As you can see, the road there is a new constructed road and so many trucks heading to the left valley, so you ought to be very careful on the road. But basically the road is much better than before.
So let me ask you, Sam, like which are some of the challenges which most drivers, since you are a seasoned driver and you've been on this road for many years, right? In Kenyan roads, you have driven, I think, the whole of Kenya, isn't it?
Sure.
I envy your skills and your experience in that, so I look up to you. So what are some of the challenges you would tell facing Kenyans, especially how can they be able to prevent accidents, or so what are your tips for, or how do you ensure that you are good driving? Can you give some tips to our viewers?
Alright, thank you. One, you have to be very keen on the road, to use defensive driving skills, and you have to be careful on all other road users, all other vehicles, both in front, behind. The borders, you have to be very cautious about them. So often you have to keep on checking both side mirrors,
Okay.
and the driving mirror as well. You have to be very alert with the brakes ready, and always make sure you're using the driving mirror often. Distance to the cars which are in front of you,
Okay.
and also be cautious of the cars which are behind you. Otherwise, if you are not cautious, you could also be knocked behind.
All right. Yeah. That's what actually happens quite often, and actually that's one of the challenges of these new modern cars, whereby they automatically brake for you. You don't. You might realize that the car was speeding, but suddenly the car by itself has suddenly braked.
Yeah.
And that's a danger or a threat. You could be reared from behind because you didn't anticipate that the car will brake by itself.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you. So you have to be checking on the rear mirror all the time.
Yeah.
So some of the drivers don't make good use of it. And so how about energy saving? What are some of the tips for energy saving?
When you're accelerating the car,
Yeah.
you have to do smooth acceleration,
Okay.
smooth braking,
Okay.
and you have to anticipate even the cars which are in front of you.
Yeah.
You have to anticipate when they want to brake or they want to stop. Actually, some of them, they don't have brake lights.
Oh yeah.
You have to be very cautious.
Very typical, yeah, in Kenya.
Yeah. And before you do an emergency brakes,
Yeah.
you have to check on your driving mirror, the cars behind.
Yeah.
Always keep distance
Yeah.
and be wary of your security as well.
Yeah.
Make sure you do central lock to your car
Yeah.
and enjoy the ride. Enjoy your ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and avoid using a phone when you're driving.
Oh, yeah. And avoid unnecessary calls and unnecessary overtaking.
Yeah, you have to be there 100%.
Awesome. So you said smooth braking, right?
Smooth braking, smooth acceleration,
Yeah.
use of indicators.
Okay.
Yeah, every indicator is very important.
And so side mirrors or which one do you prefer? Side mirrors or driver's mirror?
All of
the
them.
rear.
You actually have to use all of them.
Okay, and then now at this point, how about shoulder or side mirrors? Which one do you prefer? Shoulder? Leaning to the shoulder?
Mm-hmm. No, you can't just lean to the shoulder.
Turning your neck like this, check. So which one do you prefer?
I prefer using driving mirror and side mirrors. Those are enough for a small car. But for a truck, if you're driving a truck,
Like a
it's
Prado,
different
some
case.
of these like Prado or... Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. So we mentioned and how about security? How to prevent being hijacked? Because there are so many cases of hijacking and kidnappings in the Kenyan road. How can you, as a driver, protect yourself from being hijacked or your car stolen? Or how can you Can you give some tips how you use your car safe from being kidnapped.
You have to make sure
Yeah,
the road you are using,
yeah.
you are conversant with the road.
Okay.
You have to figure out the timings.
Yeah,
You have to be wary of the security of that road. If it's a highway, it's much better.
yeah,
But you have to, when you're starting the journey,
yeah.
start with driving the car psychologically, even before you commence the trip.
Oh, yeah, you plan ahead.
You plan ahead.
Oh,
You'll be able to know at this time when you're leaving from point A to B,
yeah.
what are some of the challenges?
What are some of the black points also?
Yeah.
Black spots, yeah.
Exactly.
And some, I mean, you could call some of the kichinjio.
Sure.
Okay,
So that is one thing. So when you are now physically, practically driving on the road, you have to be mindful of the cars which are, especially the cars which are behind you.
Oh, yeah.
The speed they're driving, how they behave,
Yeah.
the car which are next to you.
Yeah,
If you're on a highway, just move on high speed
yeah,
and just maintain your speed,
yeah.
but be very cautious.
So you mean you have to be on the watch out for
Every car
oncoming cars?
Yeah.
And if you find a car which is trailing you or following you
Behind
for quite long
or
distance,
borders.
or especially borders,
Yes. And then when you're joining feeder roads,
yeah,
be very careful before you join any feeder road.
Yeah.
Ensure
yeah.
no cars which are behind you, following you. You have to be very careful.
Yeah. It's a
Cars which are
vichoro.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, awesome.
And when you exit in the car,
Yeah,
when you stop, exit.
yeah.
Just look around. Look around.
Yeah. Don't just exist.
Yeah.
Just look around on the cars which
Look
are back
around,
there, or some
yeah.
borders which are
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
And sometimes you find that you just exist. You have taken those feeder road, exited,
Yeah.
and then there are some borders who are just standing there.
Yeah.
They were stationed, and then suddenly
Start moving.
they start moving, following you.
Yeah.
Be very worried and cautious of that, because that it has happened to me in the past actually. There is a time I've also been to confession kidnapped, so this is a confession for me. Sometimes it happens, in Kenya. Sometimes not necessarily whereby you so the biggest choke point for most drivers is to be on watch out, especially on those feeder roads. Those are the areas, because let's say they know the road better than you. There is some dead end, right? Some dead ends.
Yeah, sure.
And so we are now exiting the highway.
Not yet,
Okay, you wanted to stop?